Benavidez versus Morrell will happen February 1st, 2025. Keep my fingers crossed. Before we get into this, let's look at a little press conference back and forth between Benavidez and Morrell. If you haven't seen it, here it is. I don't own the rights to the material. It's for educational purposes only. This is from FightHub.com. This is Benavidez and Morrell hyping up the fight for February 1st. Sounds pretty juicy to me.
I don't have power for this. I don't have power. No, I don't have power. Not for this. I'm gonna show you. They broke my mouth. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna break your fucking mouth. I'm gonna break your fucking mouth.
You're not
all that
broke my mouth.
Talking all that shit. When you have a fucking jaw brace on, that's gonna be. That's my gift to you.
You boys.
That's my gift to you.
Better, man. Like, shut the fuck up, bitch. What the fuck you mean?
You know what? Like I said, these are the type of fighters I want people that are
stupid.
What the fuck you getting on your phone for? We're in the press. Now he's gonna go on Instagram. Look at this guy. He's nervous, man.
You heard the exchange between Benavidez and David Morrell. Benavidez says, well, what you saying? I don't have any punching power? And David Morrell says, not for boxing. That has been my knock on David Benavidez, which his fans call the Mexican monster. He overwhelms you and wears you down with punches. Unless you're a smaller guy, he'll get those smaller guys out of there. But between 168 and 175, I haven't seen any real punching power for David Benavidez. I mean, he beat Caleb Plant, but he couldn't put him away. And you look at a smaller guy like Canelo, who was able to finish the job. His style kind of reminds me of Errol Spence. When Errol Spence was fighting smaller fighters, basically he would overwhelm them with his punch output, plus he was the bigger man. And he said it himself, I knock out guys with accumulation of punches. And that's what David Benavidez does. But David Benavidez has not been in there with a puncher, and we saw what happened to Errol Spence when he finally faced a puncher. Now, Morrell has not solidified himself as a puncher, but he's the closest thing to a puncher that David Benavidez has faced. As far as size-wise, he's very comparable to David Benavidez. Now, I looked at the card. I don't think the pay-per-view card is worth $90. I agree with Coach Malachi when he says this. This fight should be on ESPN or The Zone, some network like that. I wonder if people are going to keep the same energy. And I said this about 2 months ago. You know, they gave Terence Crawford a hard time fighting Majimov, who had 11 fights, even though Majimov was a champion. But this is the fight they were calling for, right? They said David Benavidez is ducking Morrell, who only has 11 fights. That's how inconsistent some of the boxing fan base is. If Benavidez goes in there and loses, they're going to clown him, right? But if Benavidez goes in there and beats Morrell handily, will they give him credit, or will they use the 11 fight excuse as they did with Terence Crawford? Like I said, I love the fight, but Morrell is not even a legit champion. They're having an interim unification match. That's what it is. And some of these people are going as far to say that they're the two best light heavyweights in the division. How? I think it's too early to say that. They haven't proved anything yet at 175, maybe 168, but not 175. But anyway, leave your thoughts and comments below. Tell me your thoughts on the fight. Jay Beezy, I'm gone.